Hi there, this is Julius, the real estate guy. I'm going to be starting a new vlog, and it's going to be about real estate and real estate trends, different things going on in housing, maybe finance. We're going to be talking about all these different things through my experience and what I've been through in the real estate market. Currently, I'm hoping to buy a home real soon. I've gone through some up and downs in the real estate market, and I like to share some of the things I've been through, some of the things that I'm seeing. I currently work in the real estate right now, uh, so I get to see homes in different areas, and I'd like to just talk about some of the trends here going into the future. We'll discuss trends, different things people are doing, maybe first time home buyers, people that have lost their homes within the last 5 years and are on track to buy a home again. We'll talk about all these different type of things, which should be interesting topics, and just talking about it from my perspective and what I see out there today and what's going on. Uh, the market has definitely changed. Some say it's a great time to go out there and buy a home. The interest rates are still at a very good level. Historically, the interest rates are still pretty low compared to, say, 10 years ago. So that's another great reason why you want to purchase a home if you can. We'll talk about what it takes to purchase a home, the credit, what your credit situation should be, how to look for a good lender, how to look for a good real estate agent. These are different topics that I want to discuss during the course of the week or whenever I create the vlog. We'll have all these different topics to talk about. I think they're interesting topics. I myself was a person who owned a home at one time, made a few mistakes, you know, not didn't understand the financing process, made some bad decisions as far as loans I got myself into. Didn't understand it fully, but now through 9 years, 9 to 10 years of experience, I have a fairly decent understanding of the real estate market, the finance market, some of the things you need to be aware of and what you need to watch out for. And I'd love to share that with you, being that there's a lot of people, I guess the millennials, you know, anywhere from 18 to 35 years old, will be buying homes here real soon. And those are considered first time home buyers. And also, there's millions of people out there that lost their homes due to foreclosure, short sales, just due to the market declining. The bubble bursted, and home values went down, and people lost their homes, and bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sales, those type of things. And there's a lot of people that don't understand the process or are uncomfortable with the process, and they're renting currently, and they might be in a position to purchase a home. That's another great thing, is they actually might be in a position to purchase a home, and they just don't know it. Or maybe they've improved their credit, and they're in a position to buy a home, and they just don't know it. And that's another reason why it's a great time to purchase a home, because every year, a perfect example is like if a home is $200,000, and say you put 3% down, which is $6,000, and you have the ability, good credit, you have the down payment, and maybe you qualify for a certain loan to get into this $200,000 home. You put down $6,000, and say within the next 2 to 3 years, your home goes up to possibly 220, 225, 230. The reasonable appreciation today is about 3 to 4% every year, but I've seen in some areas it's from 5 to 8%. With that being said, so 5 to 8% on a $200,000 home is, in 1 year is 216,000. 2 years gets you to about 230 or a little bit more. So with that $6,000 investment, you've already made about $20,000 in appreciation on your home. That's another great reason why it's a great time to get into the real estate market if it's a possibility for you. And that's some of the stuff I like to talk about also. And every day I'm actually out there in the real estate market. I go and see homes, and I'm an appraiser, real estate appraiser, but I love to share with you, different things I come across and some of the storylines during my day that I come across, and things to be aware of, or pay attention to, and share those type of things. Or different properties I go to, be it in a rural area, some of the things you need to pay attention to, or maybe in suburban areas where you're looking to purchase this home, if you're near a highway, if that's such a great idea. Or if you're in a nice suburban areas, what are the things you're looking for? Good schools, you know an area that has a good reputation for being a great community to raise your kids, you know and has good schools for your kids, good activities, great parks in the area, and where you're located. But these are all the things I like to cover in the vlog, when every week when I come back to you guys, and we talk about some things. And eventually, hopefully, you send me some questions that maybe I can answer, and hopefully I can share some of my knowledge with you and my experiences with you with the questions you have. And also during the course of creating the vlog, I just like to share my experiences, everyday experiences, different things you want to do with your home, maybe as far as updating the kitchen, updating the bathrooms, going through and doing exterior updating, and what are the current trends today and what are people doing. Maybe even talk about where you get the best value out of some of these things, and keep you up to date with what's going on. Talk about what people are doing. They're putting pools in their homes, and sometimes what the cost is, and some of the things you got to think about when you put a pool in, as far as concrete, the landscaping, the design of your pool area, your patio area. And through my experiences and what I've seen, I love to share that with you and talk about all these different type of things. And also, maybe even talk about some of the things I see as far as people purchasing real estate, and the appreciation they're getting out of their real estate within a year, or some of the things that I see in the areas that I live in. It'd probably be interesting. I'm sure you can relate my area somewhat to maybe an area that you may be living in, especially if you're within a half an hour to an hour of where I am. I'm in the Sacramento area, so I'll be sharing what's going on in the Sacramento area currently. And that should be a lot of interesting topics, which is, I'm excited to create some new content for this vlog. I started a vlog probably about 6 months ago. Just wanted to test what it takes to make a vlog, and see if I had the right content. But I think I'm going to branch off and try and do something different, try and create some new content. I'm trying to throw something against the wall, see if it works. But I think it's going to be really interesting for all the people that are uncomfortable and don't have too much knowledge when it comes to real estate or financing, how to look for your first home, how do you pick your agent out, how do you pick out a lender to work with, what to look for as far as in the home, what to pay attention to, be careful of some of the bad construction that may be out there, where people are just putting in a quick fix. They bought the home and then they're putting it on the market, and they just painted it and add some flooring, and basically doing some cosmetic repairs, and really not going deep into the home and fixing, maybe say the plumbing within the interior walls that could be leaking that you're unaware of. Maybe some of the old sewer pipes may be old and that you're not aware of, and those are the type of things you should pay attention to before you purchase a home. You definitely want to get a home inspector, and why it's a good reason to get a home inspector. But every week we'll be talking about all these different things, and I think it's just going to be really interesting conversation as far as from my standpoint. And I know there's not a lot of people that are out there doing this, as far as sharing their everyday experiences with you and trying to tell you what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. And that's what I like to share within my vlog with you guys. Once again, my name is Julius, the real estate guy. That's going to be the name of my vlog, and I'll be creating my webpage here soon, and sharing some I'd like to add a bunch of photos, kind of talk about some housing and different things people are doing. And I think it's going to be really interesting and a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing it. Maybe go out to different areas in the Sacramento area and film on location and just kind of talk about the vlog a little bit and spend some time talking about different trends, what's going on, and different areas, and maybe how close we are, and you know maybe talk about how restaurants or stores affect the value of homes, and all those different things that is something to pay attention to, that maybe someone hasn't told you, that they have an effect on the value, say when you purchase your home or when you want to sell your home later. I think these are great topics. I think a lot of people can gain a lot from this. And at the end of the day, there is your people that are super experienced in the real estate and have made really good decisions, and have done everything correctly. But at the end of the day, there's guys like me where I've made a few mistakes. But at the end of the day, it's not these mistakes that define you. You have an opportunity to learn from these mistakes, and the next chance you get, you can make some good decisions. And that's what I'm trying to share. Through my experience, I have made some mistakes, but at the same time, I've learned quite a bit, and I'm looking for my opportunity to get back into the real estate market. And I want to share what I would do if I had the opportunity. My credit was great again, and I had the money to put down on a home. These are things I'm trying to position myself currently. The first time around, about 15 years ago, I was in a different field. I was an executive chef. Then at one time, I wanted to change my quality of life, I guess you said, or work on my quality of life, because I was working all the time. It seems like I was working for 3 years straight. Being an executive chef can be very challenging when you're working for $1 million corporation and you have a lot of responsibilities. This particular field I was in, I had 2 different restaurants. We did a lot of private banquets, so we were busy all year long. At that time, the economy was really strong. We were doing probably the most weddings in this area, and so it was just, I was working all the time, weekends, holidays. So it felt like every time maybe my friends were getting married, or some special occasion was going on, I was having to work, which is, it's okay, but after a while, it's not what you want to be doing. You want to be hanging out, sharing those quality times and special moments with your friends and family. And at the same time, my kids played some sports, and it was very hard to be able to go spend time with them. It was like I'd go to work in the morning, then I go to the sporting event for an hour, and then I go back to work and be back home at 10 o'clock, or finish up, and I would get home probably around 10 to 11 o'clock at night. So the quality of life wasn't that great. And so at some point, about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I just decided I wanted to do something different. And so through that journey, I've learned a lot about real estate. I knew nothing about real estate, knew nothing about financing. When it came to buy my first home, I really didn't know anything. I just went out there, okay, I have enough money, I'm gonna go buy a house, and I did. Luckily, I made a pretty decent selection of a home, but at the end of the day, 6 years later, I've made some mistakes with my financing that I should have thought about, and I didn't give very good thought. So those are things I'd love to share with you, and I think there's a lot to gain out of this, especially for first-time home buyers, people trying to get into their home again that was in a similar situation like me. It's not the end of the world. Actually, it's been about 5 years since the bubble bursted, and a lot of people lost their homes through foreclosure, bankruptcy, all those type of things, short sales, REO sales. The banks took your home due to not making the payment, or due to hard times and financial and hard times. A lot of people went through this. And so these are the experiences I want to share with you, and say that it's not too late. It's 5 years later. For some people, it might be 3 to 6 years later. And it's a perfect time to try and get back in the market, or get back into buying a home. And I always think it's a great time if you can afford it, if you have a down payment, and you can't go wrong. It's the best investment you can make, as long as you make a sound investment. So anyways, I'm gonna try and come back 2 to 3 times a week, create this vlog. Every time we come back and talk, it's going to be on a different topic. So I'm looking forward to doing this. I hope you guys have a great day. Once again, this is Julius, the real estate guy. We'll meet up here again in a couple days, and hopefully we can find a consistent day or couple days that we meet up and just talk about real estate and different trends that's happening in the market, and keep you posted with what's actually going on with different loan programs and how's the housing going, how's new construction going, and talk about all these great things and all the different areas, maybe in Sacktown or just in general. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. I look forward to talking to you guys in the future, and you folks have a great day.